Energy source in China. Hey, yo, what?
Hey Adam, I'm Iko from X Planet. Today I'm having a sand emission. The Earth has a fever. I have to cool down the fevers. Would you like to help me?
Me? Yeah, different planet. Yeah, sure. I'll help you. Eco, was it? But I'm just me. I'm just a guy. What can I do to help? Oh, okay. So yeah, I know what to do now.
During September, the Arctic sea ice also reached its lowest extent
We're anticipating
ever.
that we're going to see an earlier step towards widespread melt.
In June 2019, CNN and other international media reported the total amount of ice melting in Greenland in one day exceeded 2 billion tons. Icebergs melting, global warming, energy crisis, and over-reliance on traditional energy mean the environment upon which human survival depends is deteriorating. The optimization of energy consumption structures and building of new energy supply systems are of great urgency to the world and China.
Accumulate emission become the higher. So that means we have to either develop the developing country need to take action to mitigate climate change.
The IPCC put out reports last November actually saying that ideally around mid-century, it would be net zero emissions. So we need to be reducing emissions dramatically to that 40-50% by 2030 and then net zero by mid-century. So there really will need to be an amazing transformation of the energy system.
Yeah! It's time to go on the streets.
油车
Energy car.
新能源车
Would you be willing to switch to a car that runs on some form of new energy like an electric car?
对，
充电这一块还不完善，
技术太新了。
我认为还是现在新能源车比较好一些，提速快，它也环保。
If you ever considered doing your delivery with a car that's going to use new energies like renewables or whatever? Anything at all? No?
Hi,
我是没睡醒吗？
would you like to change your car into a new energy one?
嘿，这面包都成精了嘿！
Compared to vehicles running on traditional fuel, new energy vehicles are expensive. Nevertheless, by 2017, the cumulative sales of new energy vehicles reached 1.8 million in China, accounting for over 50% of the global cumulative sales figure. Statistics show China has been for 2 consecutive years the world's largest consumer of new energy automobiles. In 2019, the World New Energy Vehicles Congress took place in Boao, South China's Hainan province. China's new energy vehicle industry is entering a phase of rapid development, which not only boosts the economic growth of many countries, but also helps in reducing greenhouse gas emissions amid serious climate change challenge of improving the global ecological environment.
So we're now up to about 5 million electric vehicles on the road. Last year there was 2 million sold, the year before just over 1 million. A rapid increase in electric vehicles just over the last 3 or 4 years. A huge percentage has been in China, so China's sort of over half. What was the motivation behind that?
Combustion engine vehicle has become the major source of airborne pollutant emission in China, in many cities. This is number one. Number two, I would say oil security. Import oil account for 70% of the overall oil use in China.
Eco, I promise to help you cure the fevered earth. and complete our mission.
Okay.
I'm hungry. Let's go get hot pot first. It's too good. Oh my God. You know, it's weird. I feel like the water isn't as hot anymore, but it's been on the whole time, right? It's been burning. Fire's out, okay. Pico, what did you do?
You know what? Each kilogram of carbon burned produces 3.7 kilograms of carbon dioxide. It's too unfriendly to the burning earth.
3.7 per 1 kilogram? You're right, I'm sorry, that was selfish. Fuyan, ni hao. We're hoping that we could trade in our charcoal burning hot pot for one with an electric burner instead.
In China, coal dominates the share, accounting for around 60%. That's the fundamental difference between China and the EU and the US. Another important difference is about the efficiency level per unit GDP. China is much higher, even 2 or 3 times of European and the US level.
China still relies heavily on traditional energy such as coal. According to statistics, China's coal consumption in 2018 accounts for 50% of the world coal consumption, which is over twice the total consumption of India and the US combined. To change the status quo of over-reliance on oil and coal, developing clean energy is the best solution. Developing new energy, improving energy structures, and guaranteeing energy safety are the key tasks in promoting ecological conservation. In 2017, China's energy consumption grew by over 3%, which is almost thrice the average growth over the past few years. However, China's energy development and use are inefficient despite the high consumption.
China has invested more than anybody in renewables and has a lot of leading technologies, solar in particular, but also in wind, battery technologies.
In China, we made pledge in Cancun and Copenhagen. We set up a target for national target for 2020. I mean, the non-fossil fuel will account for 15% of the overall primary energy. That's the national strategic target.
China is upholding a principle of green development and has mapped out a strategy of prioritizing the development of green energy. In the field of new energy, China has developed by leaps and bounds and has honored the promise made on the eve of the Copenhagen summit 3 years ahead of schedule, reducing carbon emissions GDP per unit by 40 to 45% by 2020. In 2018, China's consumption of new energy such as natural gas, hydropower, nuclear power, and wind power accounted for 22.1% of the total energy consumption. China is currently the world's largest photovoltaic market. From 2013 to 2018, China, for 5 consecutive years, topped the world for increased photovoltaic nameplate capacity. China's photovoltaic industry is the largest worldwide. Within a few short years, new energy has grown from being a promising field in China to being increasingly competitive globally.
Every country starts out with a different set of natural resources now, and it's really how do you utilize them. So here, for example, you may have wind resources in the west, you may use ultra-high voltage networks to get them to the east where the demand is.
As you know, in China, we have an imbalanced distribution of renewable. We have a lot of production or supply of renewable in northern and northwestern China, while most of the end users, they are located in coastal and eastern or southeastern area. So that means the transmission might be challenged in terms of technology, in terms of finance or cost. And the other challenge or problem is variable nature of renewable. Rainy day or sunny day, you have windy day, or some day without wind. So that means energy storage might be another bottleneck in China.
A lot of new energy power generation is wasted in China. Due to the uneven distribution of wind power resources and incomprehensive power grid systems, 17% of the wind power is wasted. According to statistics, between 2014 and 2016, China's wind power waste was rising. 49.7 billion kilowatt hours of wind energy was wasted in 2016, 4 times than that in 2014. The amount of wind energy wasted in the 3 years equaled to about 1 year's electricity consumption in Beijing. Besides, nuclear power accounts for only about 3% of China's power supply, which falls far below the world average and has great room for development. China needs more and more improved power transmission lines to make better use of new energy-generated electricity. Even when new energy is extensively introduced in the future, challenges remain in terms of smart power grids. Energy storage technology such as grid and distributed energy storage has to be perfected to alleviate the many operational challenges facing grid-connected new energy.
Catch me if you can! Eco! Peekaboo! Here I am. All right, now I chase you. Dang, you're fast!
Go, Adam!
Hey-yo!
Adam, I'm almost out of power. Could you please help me charge myself?
Okay, sure. But we'll find you a charging station, all right? We just gotta look. Look what I found. Come on.
Wow, very good.
Here we go. Come on, girl, get your power. How do those electrons feel? Huh?
Wow, nice.
Feeling fresh? This is amazing. All we need is an umbrella and the sun. We're good to go. I can just chill.
Adam, you know what? There are solar trash cans, solar dolls, and a variety of solar panels, which use solar energy to generate electricity for daily use of this park.
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't know that so much new energy is being applied to just our daily lives.
New technologies will be the key. So technologies that are clean, but also more cost effective. So we believe that those technologies exist. Wind and solar are some of them.
But certainly technology is always important, it's always key. And especially, I would also emphasize the mechanism to promote technology, adopt quickly and widely. In that way, that means that you develop some technology, maybe not so ideally, but you put it into the market and you make some money and make part of the return, reinvest in innovation or R&D, and then you improve your energy, and then put the new generation of technology into the market in a larger share. And that kind of cycle will accelerate the improvement of the technology. In that way, I would say technology innovation will be the core. I mean, if we can set up this kind of cycle, I mean, together with the financial support, the capital cycle, and the technology will be highly developed.
As China expands its new energy field, industrialization will require the integration of technological innovation and market assimilation. To create environment for the use of new energy vehicles, China exempts new energy vehicle buyers of consumption tax and provides preferential policy for them. In June 2019, Beijing was the first to terminate preferential policy. By 2020, all local governments in China will put an end to such policies. The new energy vehicle industry is transitioning from being guided by policies to being guided by the market. Meanwhile, China's wind power and photovoltaics have entered an age of competitive pricing. It is expected that by 2020, most photovoltaic power generators in China may become subsidy-free and achieve grid parity. China is the world's top country in energy conservation and new and renewable energy use. The abolishment of new energy vehicle subsidies and grid parity of wind power and photovoltaics are just a small step forward. In the future development of new energy, China will remain the pacemaker.
Adam, remember, turn off the air conditioner 20 minutes before you go out.
Okay. Bye, Eco.
And Adam, please remember, last time to open the range in cooking.
Okay, got it. Bye, Eco.
And Adam, remember.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, turn off everything. I got it. Now I'm gonna turn you off if you don't get out of here. Now run along. Thank you for the information. Bye-bye. Oh, we better save electricity. We gotta turn this thing off.